Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, I'm coming into the show. Yeah, I'm making it in. We're getting ready to bring the integrated webcam in, and I don't even need the integrated webcam. I've got a new camera. That's right. We've got a new camera from Sarah. There we go. Oh, wow. Look at this. Live streamer. Wow. I'm going to have to turn this off. That's even better. Okay, good. Let me get some more ambient light up. There we go. Hey, let me loosen my tie, huh? Relax a little bit. Yeah, so we're going to do a dinner special tonight. Thank you for coming in. Not sure what's going on with the lights. Okay. That's about as good as I can get. Maybe a little more light here. Turn that down a bit. All right. We'll do the best we can. Okay, so hey, let's get into the shop room. You know, the chat room. So today we're going to be doing a pork dish. It's going to be amazing. And we're in 1080p. That's great. And we should be able to, pull this off. I'm going to go ahead and start my Periscope show. Yeah, we know we did a pork dish last week, and I liked it so much. And I've got this big pear tree that's just producing bushels. I've been fertilizing it with koi algae, and it's really amazing. It's just coming out with lots of pears. It's just, I couldn't believe it. So I'm going to be using some of those pears tonight. And you can replace it with apples. Apples are certainly good with pork. Yeah. 5G cooking. That would be appropriate. Hashtag cooking. 5G cooking. Tech. Censorship. Pandemic. Yeah, that covers it. Go live. Okay, so we're entering our Periscope show. And I will give you guys a link to our Periscope show. It's a lower resolution quality, but it has some qualities about it that I think are endearing. Had some apples, rice, add salmon tonight. Nice. Apples and rice and salmon. Ooh. Hey, isn't this a great show? Yeah. I haven't even started it, but it's just great. Today I'm going to get me started here on this. Please, Tom, don't ever say anything denigrating in the show or you'll be a denigrator. The square isn't as a clock ticking. It is a clock ticking. Yeah, that was a beautiful gold clock. That has a lot of meaning to me, that clock. Okay. I can't go into it right now, though. Oh, wait a second. I think I'm in the wrong month. Yeah. Yeah, to stop the broadcast. Jeez. That's a problem. I know. Let's see how fast I can do this. Well, the thing is you got to go into Twitter and you got to get rid of the post. You have to delete the post, so it's my most recent post. Yeah, this isn't exactly cooking, is it? This is called technology. Delete. Okay. I have to wait a little while to get on that, so I'll wait just for now. In the meantime, let's start the cooking show, because that's number one on the list. You have to wait like 10 minutes before Periscope can start up again. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys are having a wonderful day. I would like to make barbecue chicken, but I have pork today. Lots of pork. Yeah. I got right into it. I didn't even run my header today. It was fantastic. It's fantastic, Mr. Trump. Fantastic. Kwame Jackson was fantastic. Wasn't that a great? That was the best of all celebrity or not so celebrity. That was The Apprentice show. Yeah, I think it was one of the best, frankly. Kwame Jackson and that guy who kept bragging about Kwame Jackson, and Trump said, "So why do you feel that you should win?" Well, Kwame's very good. Well, what about you? Well, I like Kwame. You're fired. Okay, we got the breadboard. The guy didn't even know why he was there. But you know what he did? Trump got him an education. Thank you. Trump bought him an education, albeit a junior college or community college. But he didn't have he didn't finish his AA, and he wanted to finish his AA. So Trump just forked over a few thousand. Yeah, this is live. I'm going to bring the mic up a little bit. I'm going to take it here. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me pretty well? Or is it just like in the background? Tesla has a hack over the entire fleet. Wow, okay. Thank you for admiring me. So that was okay. It was fine. Okay, great. Well, this new camera turned out to be a big plus. We got it for $54.95 at Costco on sale. And it's equivalent to, it's called Media, and they had the equivalent ratings to our Logitech 920, so we went with it. So a hacker gained control over the entire fleet of Tesla, but fortunately he's a good guy. That's reassuring, not? Okay, so look at that. Check this pork out. Now, these are cheap cuts of pork. They are really cheap cuts of pork. And I'll release the name of this show. It's a kind of a, I'm waiting to release it, but I get these for 30% off. And normally they're $4.99 a pound. So that's about $3 a pound, roughly $3.25 a pound. And I got 2 pounds. So I'm going to go with $6.50 on the pork. Look at all that pork. I got 2 pounds of this pork. Huge. Today I got this, and I pulled the other one out of the freezer in case they didn't have any pork in the discount section. So I'm always prepared. It's not, as long as you get it when it doesn't smell, it's fine. And if you freeze it right away once you buy it at 30% off, it's good. Oh, this is better than pork chops. This creates, and I've done this before, this creates the mouth-watering, the other white meat kind of thing with the fruit taste. Now today, let me show you my bushel of pears. This is just one. I have 2 more like this of pears, right? So let me bring you. I can get even. I think I might even have 3 more out on the tree. But this was one heck of a year, and I'll tell you, using the source of the koi pond water as a fertilizer really made this thing pop. I mean, this tree is like taking off. It's like, whoa. I'm going to have like hundreds of, I mean, this is going to be like the biggest pear tree in the world, I think. I don't live in a group home, no. I have normal graying, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm 60 years old. What do you say? Yeah, you have gray when you get older. You didn't know that you get gray hair when you get older? I hope she makes pear cobbler. But what this is like too many pears. So what we normally do is we have this device that peels them and then goes ahead, and I got to get the onion going. It peels them, and then we slow cook them on the stove for about 2-3 hours with cinnamon, lemon juice, and vanilla. And it is really good. I mean, it makes this wonderful, incredible, it's a sauce, pear sauce. We made so much that we have to store it and, sometimes freeze it. But this year is going to be like a bumper crop. I don't know, man. And it's going to get worse every year. So we're going to have to come up with a way to store these pears for long-term use. Yes, you can live off of a pear tree if you have to. So And I've got a couple of apples that I'm really nurturing now. I should have planted apples here a long time ago. John McAfee got indicted for tax evasion. I don't have any taxes to pay. I don't make any money. I'm not a millionaire, man. I'm not a mere millionaire. Clearly, poor John McAfee has only $1 million or $2 million. What is his net worth? 25, 30? Okay, so I think John has like $125 to $200 million, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's get that back burner going here. I'm going to put it on level 3. Okay. Hopefully I won't burn the board here, so we're just going to cut the onion. This is a full onion going in there. And once the temperature of that metal is nice and hot, then you've got your... I actually have a large rock collection. Thank you for asking. You have a huge rock collection. Yeah, it's what kind of rock is the question? Yeah. Anybody can have like a rock collection. Even Jeff Epstein could say I have a rock collection. He might have diamonds. Do you have diamonds, Jeff? Oh, burn the board, not put it on the stove? Okay, thank you. Are you on crack, Rodney? Wow. So that's the only rock Rodney cares about is crack. Can you believe that? He just cares about crack, rock cocaine. Reminds me of a woman I unfortunately had sex with. Well, it's a long story, but yeah. Notice I didn't jerk the, there's enough steam in the thing to not jerk it, so. But we could jerk it a little bit. So, yeah, I went through like 8 years of being celibate. Then I met this amazingly weird woman. Who was a caterer to the stars. I mean, she did everybody, Fleetwood Mac, all the great, she did all the catering. So I had like this wild 2-week romance after being celibate for 8 years. And it was weird, you know. I can't tell you how weird it was because it's all in my book, but it was intense. It was one of those like really hot initial meetings, and then it just went completely to hell. All because I didn't keep an eye on their dog. Her dog, her friend's dog came over, and I'm looking around doing my thing, and the dog just decides to whip out the door. I didn't know what to do. So they came back. Where's the dog? Where's the dog? I'm sorry, I didn't know. Was I responsible for keeping your dog? For your friend's dog? That was it. That was the end of it. Oh, she thought I was like the worst person on earth. Lots of clipping. Well, it shouldn't be clipping. Let me drop it down a bit. This is a very hot mic. This is what I needed to hear earlier. Okay, what about now? Can you hear me now? It's a very hot mic. Look it out. It's even going up there at this distance. Yeah, okay. Thank you, sloppy seconds. Okay, so crank this up to level 6. Get that going. Just the onions alone. Yeah, then we're going to put some potatoes in here. And I have to peel this. I have to peel this little sweet potato. I'm making potatoes with this today. Sarah doesn't like regular potatoes because they're, excuse the rag, because they're definitely a night shadow plant, and sweet potatoes are not. So I'm going to make this one little sweet potato for her because she's such a sweet person too. I mean, what a blessing to have her in my life, I'll tell you. Poor Rodney doesn't have a woman like her. Yeah. Sometimes you run into a little blemish here. You got to cut those out, like a little mark. This is about as old as a sweet potato can get without, they start to get mushy. And we were going to buy organic. These are organic. We were going to buy another bag. And I said, well, Sarah, you realize they're going to get mushy. So maybe we'll get her I'll get her some sweet potato fries. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. I'm just going to cut it like that so I won't lose this potato. And I'm going to put that on the grill. Set it right on the grill. And do the same with these potatoes right here. Yeah, they're just regular red potatoes. You don't have to peel them. You just stick them right in there. Okay. Survey said. All right. Now, this dish calls for rosemary. So I've got some rosemary out in the garden, but I'm going to use my dried version. So I'm going to put that on. Whoa, hang on. Well, a little extra rosemary won't hurt. I'm good. Pork and rosemary do something together. I can't even describe it. It's just, rosemary was made for pork. I mean, you could try tarragon, but it has no flavor. I'm just going to chop those little rosemary pieces up. Very pungent plant. This was hand wildcrafted by me. I grow all kinds of herbs in my garden, and I will at the White House too. Okay, we're going to go throw that in there. Now we're going to work on that pork, and I'm going to need that really nice knife that we have up here. This is the Meow TV knife. I know you're admiring my youthful look. Yeah, this is the Meow TV knife. Remember they sent me these things from Damask steel, 67 blades of steel burnt into it. It's an amazing knife. I mean, hello, are you there? All right, so I'm going to cut this pork and slice it in 1-inch chunks. And I have a little, this is from the freezer. I have a little apple juice set down there at the bottom. And if you ever run into a piece of fat right there, sinewy, and always look at the knife. Never take your eye off the knife. It's super important. Take the sinew and grab it like that, and just kind of slice into it until you kind of get close to the skin. And that gets rid of any untender pork from the dish. Last week's pork was just horrible. Now all of this is compostable, so let me get a compostable bin here. Yeah, so, I'm sorry, Michelle, who? Michelle Obama? I'm not talking about Michelle. We have a bigger problem with Kamala. Kamala, I mean, have you ever seen a more slutty looking woman in your life? She looks like a turkey. I mean, what's with the jowl and the face? Seriously. Now, you know she slept her way to the top. Willie Brown, Congressman Willie Brown, said the whole thing. I mean, he laid it out there. He said, yeah, and he's a respectable guy in California, black guy, who definitely laid some serious sex on her. So you understand, she just slept her way up the ranks, and she keeps doing it. I mean, I seriously wouldn't doubt Biden got a little of that action, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I would never, ever violate Sarah's trust. I mean, can you imagine? God. Jeffrey, you wouldn't even be in this conversation if I didn't invite you into the show. Jeff Epstein, everybody. How's life treating you out there on the road? You know, the nice thing, Jeff, you can wear a mask everywhere. Nobody even recognizes you. I can't believe all the pork I have to slice here. This is like I decided to make this my biggest challenge. Okay, we're getting those onions going with the potatoes initially. And I'm putting a little browning on the potatoes. You got to always look at that knife, never take your eyes off. So I'm sorry I can't talk to you right now. But man, these knives are really good for this purpose. I was kind of hoping to do this because they said, like, yeah, this knife will cut through this meat like nothing. And that's exactly what it's doing. Now this is a dish that I'm making for 10 people. So what you want to do is expand out the recipe with way more potatoes and put more apples or pears. What we're going to do is at level 6, we're kind of putting a brown on the potatoes right now. I'm about ready to move them because I'm going to add all this pork to the dish with whatever apple juice is at the bottom I put in there. Yeah, this is a way better cut of pork rather, than I got at the other last week when it was a bad cut. You got to make sure you see the meat when you buy these boneless pork. Now I can really smell that rosemary. Man, that's great. Okay. Come on. That's almost edible. Okay, we're done. Okay, good. Now I'm going to use some more of that berry sauce that I've been using, that berry seasoning from Ethiopia. I'm going to use this. You can use a little bit of chili powder. This is berry Ethiopian seasoning. If you got a little chili powder, throw that in there. Not the hot stuff, not the cayenne. This has got a little cayenne in it, but put a little bit of that on your pork. Now, if you do have Patty LaBelle number 3, you could use that. I'm going to throw that pork right on top. Now I'm going to take one of these pears that I have here that's got some blemishes on it. Cut away any blemishes that you know, like when the pear drops, sometimes, like this time we had a really big wind. It pushed a lot of pears in the ground, and some little varmints got in there and nibbled away at the pear. So, get a little blemish there, you know. But that's still edible. All right. Beautiful. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to refrigerate this. I'm not going to make this thing. So make this 1 pound of pork. Yeah, that looks so good. I'm just going to go with what I have. And I really don't want to spend my day cutting pork. I have enough for the dinner tonight. So make this less than 10 people. But yeah, I'm going to put this in the freezer. I double bag it. That's what you have to do when you have a really bad fling after 8 years of being celibate. You double bag it. You know, you're right, Misanthropy. Good point about that. Okay, I'm going to put that in the freezer with my other pork collection. Yeah. How many people have a pork and a beef collection? I'm probably one of the few. All right, so. Oh yeah, I'm stocked up. I've got pork, beef, chicken, fish. We got one hell of a deal on pollock one day. Okay, cut any blemishes off. And in this particular case, I've got a little center core I got to pull out with the seed in it. You don't want to cook with a seed. Okay, so I'm just going to throw some pears on top of this right now. And I mean a lot of pears. I don't mean just a few. I mean, I'm looking for all my blemishes here. There's a blemish. Yeah, these look like blemishes. I've got so many pears, I'm going to have to use at least 3 or 4. So you can use 2 big apples or 3 small ones. I don't have any problem with moon crickets. No, I don't even know what they are. In fact, my yard is beautiful. Yeah, the swim spa repairman said, wow, you got one hell of a nice yard. And I was like, thank you. I was impressed. He was impressed. Well, I paid the guy $1,700 to fix our swim spa. Yeah, I had to. Well, I mean, I couldn't survive without it, and my back, by the way, is doing great. Never been better. No, he's an old guy, kind of like a crotchety guy, but man, he does work like no other. He studies each thing really meticulously. I like that in a repair person. Well, I'm going to have to win at least 2/3 of them, Tom. I'm thinking 234 at minimum. Once people see me in action and know that I've been kept out of the, I don't believe that's right. It feels right, but it's not. So there's a factor of ripeness here. Okay, I have to stop on that one. These are good. Any blemishes you don't want in there, but again, this is like three small apples or 2 big ones. And these are the sweetest. Oh man, these are the sweetest pears ever. I couldn't believe it. Sarah's grandpa gave her this, sent it to us in the mail from all the way from the south. And we planted this pear tree, and it originally came from the south. And man, it took off in our soil and did real well. Okay, so I'm going to throw that on there too. Okay, everything's getting into its own juices now. We'll put a little bit more chili powder on there. Okay, and I'm also going to add some ginger. Sorry for the loud noise, guys. I'm going to put a half teaspoon of ground ginger on this. Now the potatoes are an odd thing. I'm going to turn it down to well, that's at level 6. It's good. Potatoes are an odd thing because you don't really want to use ginger with potatoes. But why not? I've never really done that. Yeah. So total ingredient cost is $8. I found these for 50 cents a piece from Mexico. There's the sound of my swim spa. Yeah, so I'm into the swim spa for $8,000 now. Originally it was 6, and after the repair is actually 300 less than $8,000. So, but that includes an entire cedar deck and fencing. So it's got total privacy, and it's got all that. It's 6 foot by 8 foot, so it could feed 20 people, but that pork could actually be spread out over rice. Yeah, I washed them all. I'm washing this, I washed that. I'm going to clean the knife off with this. Since it's going in the dish, I didn't, why not just use it to clean the knife off, right? And I keep all the seeds out. Sarah hates seeds. So you got to be careful with those. Some people really don't like them. I mean, I personally hate seeds too. So I won't even eat eggplant. Well, I think you're right, Jeff. Hang on. Yeah, I had a little burn on that board. You're right. I should have listened to Jeff. Jeff was right about that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut right here. Doesn't have to be big slices. But yeah, if you eat a lot of seeds, there's a thing about... Now, I cannot get a single doctor or nutritionist to agree with me, but this thing about seeds and the appendix. The appendix filters all the food that we eat. I'm going to throw these peppers on top to kind of kick it into the final level. Give it a shake. And I'm going to do my compost thing. Hang on. So I don't trust seeds with the appendix. The tomato seeds, they're so small, they slip right through, right? But pumpkin seeds and watermelon seeds, the reason I feel that way is my dad had an appendicitis attack when he was a young man. He was like 40 years old. And he had it the day he was just sitting there eating the watermelon straight up. And I even remember telling him, and I was like 5 years old, saying, "Dad, why are you eating the watermelon seeds?" And he had this, that should be the it on the compost. You know, my dad had this, I'm a Marine, I can do anything kind of attitude. And man, I remember playing on the beach. It was a beach deal. We were in Huntington Beach, California, and they buried the watermelons. They had 2 watermelons, and all the guys and the kids at the day camp that my parents ran would get to have the day at the beach, and then in the afternoon, it was like we opened up really ice-cold watermelon. Yeah, and I can tell you that watermelon is, it's got lycopene in it. It's really good for you. Moosey, what are you talking about? I'm not losing my mind. Just talking about my family and my history. Well, you see, the thing is, Tommy, I'm plagued with too many great memories. I realize that that's my big problem. Yeah, my dad was a camp counselor. He was a waterfront director at 2 camps, or 1 camp. At 42 years old, right, I think right after he had his appendix problem. Right after, he went out and competed with all these young 20-year-olds to get his senior lifeguard rating. And he became a senior lifeguard. And in order to get a waterfront director job on the East Coast, he did that. I was never molested, no. Yeah, we had a Boy Scout camp. My dad was also a director at a Boy Scout camp, YMCA, actually, not a Boy Scout camp, but a YMCA. But no, these camps were private camps. And my parents had a private camp for 5 years. This is how they got into the whole camping thing. But my childhood from 0 to 5 was like the most incredible thing you could ever experience, because 3 months out of the year, I was surrounded by kids who were having fun constantly, going to Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, the beach, eating watermelon. Anyway, reeling back to that day on the beach, I remember looking up and seeing an ambulance come to my dad's rescue. He was saying, "I don't feel so good," right after those pits went in him. "I'm not feeling so good." And pretty soon, that was a full-blown attack he had. So it was an appendicitis attack due to eating seeds from watermelon. David, how do you remember what being 1 year old was like? That's the weird thing about it. I have all those memories still in my head. I know you guys don't, so I'm plagued with really great memories. Oh, I've got tons of them. I mean, I'm writing them in my book, but this is a good story. Yeah, my dad and mom had a really great business, 5 years in LA. And they had about 100 campers, summer campers that we took around, and we took them to Disneyland. We took them to Knott's Berry Farm. All the great places. We had a place where we set up a tiki hut and served Kool-Aid. And that's one of my favorite memories. Yeah, Connie was there. Yeah, Connie was a big part of my childhood. Connie and I have been doing a lot of reminiscing. Okay, turn it down to level low. Give it a shake. Turn it down to simmer at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a container of no sugar organic applesauce to kind of bring it together. And I'm also going to mix it up with some garlic too. Now, you'd think, well, garlic and applesauce, really? I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but no, I think this is the way to go. So this will close the deal on the sweetness, and basically the pork and sweetness gel together. Get a full heaping tablespoon. The pork and sweetness gel together to work with the protein. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and push it around now. Oh yeah, everything. Potatoes are almost done. Yeah, everything can now just sit in its own, based in its own ingredients right now. Perfect. And I'm going to leave the sweet potatoes intact for Sarah. All right. Now you notice I didn't use any turmeric. I think I'm going to put a little turmeric in there for good purposes. You can put curry powder in this, but I wouldn't put a lot of it. But I'm going to put turmeric in there. And you know what really works? This is a 1 in chance that I can use Meow TV's bacon seasoning. He sent me this bacon seasoning from, he said it was really great for an alternative bacon taste. I'm going to spike this with a little bit of this. Get a few shake tops. All right. Okie dokie. Now again, if you add 5 more potatoes, you can cook for 8 people. So it's still within an $8 budget. 5 more potatoes is not going to take you to a whole nother level. But yeah. Yeah, it's strange. I somehow I lost my last week's title, so I'm going to add another one here. Okay, we'll do this. So this is a pork Peartato. Now, yeah, no, I don't mean toes. No, that's I mean potato. You thought I was doing a vice president? So what do you think, Peartato? Yeah, pork Peartato. Okay, so $8. We're only using $3 of pork, so we're going to add 3 and take $2 in ingredients for onion. I'm going to say 6 for 6 meals. Okay, that'll work. Pork Peartato. Well, let's be clear. And it shouldn't be green background because green pork is not good. I'd say a red might be better. Yeah, pork Peartato. There you go. Whew. Just for fun. I'm not going to ban somebody for fun. I don't want to ruin their day. You've got Politics and Halloween on YouTube. Why are you directing people to YouTube? I've got a show right here. What are you doing? You really think it's appropriate to direct people to oh my God, you just sent something that has an advertisement in it. Oh, never ever send an advertisement. Oh, we don't do commercials here. We're completely free. Sarah told you I over-season? I don't think so. No. No, I don't think so. No. That seasoning I have to use up. You know how much Meow TV seasoning he sent me? Check this out. An entire box full. Yeah, I mean, do you realize it's going to take me like 12 years seasoning at that level? What are you, from England, where you don't season things at all? I mean, is that where you... Oh my God, high CPU. Yeah, I've got 4 more containers I got to get to here. And they're all different flavors too. That's just the one of them that's bacon. This is spicy. Yeah. Smoky barbecue. Original. And cheesy. Cheesy. It's very cheesy. Oh, what's this audio system in here with this electronic device? Are they monitoring me? Did somebody send me a box of electronics to monitor me? This will taste like ribs when we're done, yeah. Now, I didn't really lift this up much, you know, because Tony Roma's has ribs, but they use pesticides in their bathroom. I had a big deal where I went into a Tony Roma's one time, and, you know, all these places, they run the health department in there. So, oh, yeah, you got to spray for roaches. And every one of the Tony Roma's I've ever been to, it just smells like pesticides in the bathroom. The hair cutting bowl is being used for a rice storage dish. I made a mega dish of rice and I have it in the refrigerator for further use. If I want, I can put this whole dish on rice, and I might tonight. So, I'll take a scoop of rice out, throw it in the microwave for a minute, put this on top, but the potato thing doesn't work with rice. So I'll probably make Sarah a sweet potato with rice base. Yeah, it was fresh made as in 2-3 days ago. Rice will last like 2 weeks in the refrigerator. Well, 1 week. Tom, remember we talked about this? Your obsession with women? What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 yeah. Have you seen Tom lately? He looks good, man. What is he, like 90? We talked about that, Tom. You don't qualify. Well, I like their ribs. I like Tony Roma's ribs, so I'm not really bad-mouthing their restaurant. Oh, let me start the Periscope show now. It's about time. For those of you who were watching it, somehow, I kept it running in case you did catch it. But now I'm going to get back in there, get back on it, because I had the wrong date. Okay, previewing broadcast. Yeah. Yeah. It's a hot mic. I got to tell you, that's very sensitive. Okay, 10:08. I'll do hashtag cooking. Cooking 5G. Okay, it's slightly different than the last one, so we'll go live with that. All right. Viewing broadcast. So those of you who saw the last link, even though I deleted the tweet while watching the show, and now you're watching a new link. Cooking 5G. Okay, it's slightly different than the last ones. Okay. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 yeah. Okay, here's a Periscope link. 300 kbyte feed is pretty slow. So, hey, you know what I'm going to do with this is turn it off. Yeah. And you know, I've got some spinach from the garden. I don't want to steam it later, so I'm just going to throw that on top and let it sit. But you can see what I've got here. I'm going to put it in this bowl. It'll eventually get in there, but voila. Wow. Look at that. All right. I'm going to let it literally turn off at this point. And what happens in the mystery time when it sits there on the stove is it gets better and better. Wow, it must have pulled out. I don't think we've ever muted him. Yeah, I may have muted him. Yeah, it's remarkable. And the pork is delectable. When you mix it with apple and rosemary, or pear and rosemary, in this case I did a little bit of both, something happens. The acids and the coenzymes in the fruit take it to a whole nother level. Now, you know that Hawaiians love cooking Polynesian with pineapple. Same kind of thing. You can go in that direction too. You know, Sarah's thinking of getting an outdoor grill. I don't know. For me, it just makes no sense to stand outside and you know, and burn fossil fuel. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. I mean, we've got all these induction technologies now. Sarah has an induction range in her granny flat. It's actually an induction cooktop, and she has, you know, that she can cook anything on, including these pears, and that is so efficient. And I'm just thinking, you know, if you want that barbecue flavor, definitely get it. And you're certainly supporting the industry, which is great. But okay, let's take a look at my kitchen, and we'll sign off here. This is David's kitchen. I've got a succulent collection back here. Really nice. Very beautiful succulents. Yeah. What with a stainless steel kitchen? You're wondering what this is, right? Well, this is one of my things I do is I take a cucumber slice when I make lunch, and I take it off and I rub my forehead with it. And it's really refreshing. And this way it'll save me hundreds of thousands of dollars on dermal abrasion. And I won't be like, you know, Joe Biden with my face peeling back when I'm his age. No, I don't eat it. That one I compost. But it stays fresh. You can use it over and over again. Moosey, you're such a piece of shit. Yeah, I wouldn't even put you in the compost heap because you're such a piece of shit. We're going to put you out. David, you need to redo all your recipes with this new cam. You know, we're just lucky we got a new cam. You know, the whole idea of me going on YouTube is to show that I'm being censored there too. That's why I upload to a show talking about cooking. I mean, I have like 3 or 4 hits, and people tell me I get like 500,000 hits. They say they see a different number. They see 500,000, and I have like 3 hits on my YouTube videos. So, well, I've been on YouTube all along, Jeff. I upload to David John Sponheim, Jon. YouTube.com/David John Sponheim. That's where you'll find my blackface videos. Okay, Jacqueline Smith is 75 years old. Now, I had a chance to actually meet Jacqueline Smith. And I was not impressed. A very, very stuck-up woman. I mean, she knows she's good looking. I mean, no question about it. Now, what am I saying? That's not true at all. She's a wonderful person. She is absolutely the most beautiful person inside and out. I had her confused with Pam Dauber. I met Pam Dauber the same week I just greeted her and said hello to her. Yeah, she bought something from a store I worked at. She is a wonderful person. Yeah. Whereas Pam Dauber of Mork and Mindy fame was not so nice. She was the one who was kind of stuck up. She's married to Mark Harmon. Yeah. But yeah, they're a lovely couple. But yeah, Jacqueline Smith is absolutely amazing. 75, really? That's amazing. Well, what a wonderful person she was. Hey, thank you, or is. Yeah, thank you for everything, everybody. I'm going to step out now and close down. I'll be in the show in about 2 minutes, so check it out right there. Take care. Good night. Mr. Wright.